Welcome to the Making College Affordable podcast with me, Jason Fleury, certified financial planner professional and college planning specialist. I'm about to show you the inside secrets colleges don't want you to know and help you become a more educated consumer when it comes to paying for college. I believe you should enjoy the journey of allowing your kids to pursue their dreams without having to sacrifice yours. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome to episode number 19 of the Making College Affordable podcast. I'm Jason Fleury, and I am so excited to share with you more of the game-changing experiences and some of the expertise that I've learned over the past 20 plus years as a certified financial planner professional and a college planning specialist. For the last couple of episodes, we've been talking about the financial aid forms, and today's episode is really going to be about details and documentation. If you've been wrestling with the FAFSA and the CSS profile lately, this episode will give you some information on what next steps to take and just a little bit of a follow-up to make sure that you're on track with what you're supposed to be doing. So the first thing I want to mention to you are timelines. When do you file your financial aid forms? It used to be that we would begin financial aid season in January of every year, and we would use the previous year's tax return to put that information in for the upcoming school year. A few years ago, they changed the rules, and now you're using your tax return from 2 years ago, and you can begin filing financial aid forms as early as October 1st of your student's senior year. This is an annual renewable process, so you'll be looking for financial aid season to begin in October each year that you're going to have kids in school. And you're always using your tax return from 2 years prior. Your assets that you report on the financial aid forms, they're as of the day that you file. But of course, you're using income from 2 years ago. And that income may have changed a lot over that period of time. If your income has gone down, well, then you definitely need to report that to the college. You'll start by reporting your normal tax return information on the FAFSA and CSS profile. And once they're processed, you'll contact the financial aid office to let them know that your income has changed. Maybe you've lost your job since then and your new income level is much different than it was before. Simply reaching out to the financial aid office and letting them know that the income that's on that old tax return is not in place today can really open the doors for you to receive a lot more money at a very important time. Be sure and review the last 2 episodes to make sure you don't accidentally overstate your financial resources in the way of cash savings and investments. It's so easy to do, and the college will accept whatever information you send them. So you want to make sure that you're only sending them the stuff that matters. And if you have money in the student's name, and maybe there's an opportunity to be able to transfer it out of the student's name before you file financial aid, definitely take advantage of that because it will lower your expected family contribution. But remember this too. Maybe you've already filed in previous years and you go back and look and you've drastically overstated your assets on previous year's FAFSAs. Will that have any impact on you going forward? Well, the good news for you is no, it doesn't have any impact. Each year in the financial aid system is a standalone year. So if you had a really good year of income and then the next year things didn't work out so well, you're not penalized from the previous year during the year when you really need extra consideration. If you made mistakes and you overstated your assets, or maybe you had money and you started a business and you transferred it over into a business account, the money from the previous year does not affect the current year. And that gives you a lot of flexibility if you still have time to make any financial arrangements before filing FAFSA, since the assets you report are as of the day you file. So those are a few details you need to be aware of. But let me talk a little bit about documentation. If you've ever tried to qualify for a mortgage, you remember that you had to disclose every possible imaginable detail of your financial situation in that mortgage underwriting process. Fortunately, the financial aid system is not nearly as complicated. The tax return is usually the sanity check in this whole thing, and with the FAFSA form, you can download that information directly from your tax return through the IRS into your FAFSA. For most people, that meets the documentation requirement for the federal form, unless your income is on the lower side and you qualify for Pell Grant. In those cases, you'll probably receive a request to verify your information. And the colleges and the government say the verification process is random, but if you're going to qualify for Pell Grant, I can almost guarantee you that you're going to be verified, so it's that random. Fortunately, the verification process isn't tedious. They'll basically ask you to complete a form where you list out the student's information, the members of your household. If you've used the IRS data retrieval tool through FAFSA and downloaded that information directly into your FAFSA form, you'll indicate that there for yourself and for your student if they file the tax return for that particular year. And if not, they will ask you to provide a copy of your IRS transcript, which you can download for free on the IRS's site. Once you've checked those boxes and possibly sent them a copy of those transcripts, you just sign and date the form at the bottom, and everything's complete. See, it's not that the college is really concerned that you're not telling the truth or that you may be trying to hide something. They have to cover their bases because they're not only giving away their money, they're giving away Uncle Sam's money. And they get audited from time to time. So if they're going through a regular audit and the auditor randomly pulls your file out and sees that you received Pell Grant money from the U.S. government and the college didn't get documentation to verify your information, well, that college can get in trouble for that. And while I'm sure the colleges deeply love you and appreciate your business, nobody in the financial aid office is going to get in trouble because they didn't get your paperwork in. So that's the verification process for FAFSA. The CSS profile uses a completely different system, but they also use your tax return as a part of the process. Sometimes colleges will ask you to upload copies of your tax return directly to their website through a secure portal. And some colleges use a service called IDOC, which is a depository for financial documents and tax returns and anything else they may require. The verification process will be very similar, and you will never have to provide copies of any kinds of statements or evidence to prove or disprove the value of your home or your business. If you're going through a financial aid appeal, you may want to provide additional information to show them the details that you're describing. But as a part of the normal process, the colleges should never ask you for account statements or information about your mortgage. Naturally, if you disclose that information to them, they can and will use it against you as they determine what they feel you can afford to pay for college. But only provide them with the information that's required. And make sure that it stays consistent between your FAFSA and your CSS profile. Like I've said before, making mistakes could cost you delays and cost you tens of thousands of dollars. And whatever award you tend to get in one particular year, unless your financial situation really changes in subsequent years, that's roughly the same amount that you're going to get all 4 years your kids are in college. So you really want to take the time and effort to make sure that what you've given them is accurate and timely so that you can get the best award possible. A lot of people have compared filing for financial aid to filing their taxes. And you know how much fun that is. But I bet the IRS has never given you $50,000 a year in free money to send your kids to college. But some of the colleges we've worked with do. Take the time to educate yourself and make sure you get answers to the questions you really need to know so that you don't pay more than your fair share of the college bill. There's a lot of free money out there, and you could be very close to claiming your share of it. I hope you've enjoyed and benefited from today's show. If you like what you've heard, please give us a good rating wherever you get your podcasts and share us with your friends. Also, if you have any specific questions or comments about anything we've covered today, email those questions to podcast@mycollegeplanners.com. You can also visit our website at mycollegeplanners.com to get personalized recommendations on how to make college more affordable and learn how working with a college planning specialist can improve your life. Thanks again for listening today. I look forward to seeing you again soon.